Hey guys, what's up? It's Reagan. I have a prepping video for you today. It's been a long time since I've filmed, for which I do apologize. It has been kind of a crazy year and a lot of things happened just in my personal life, and it's made things a little bit of a challenge to get in front of the camera. But as September is National Preparedness Month, I have been spending this last month working on today's video, and so I wanted to bring that to you guys before the month was over. So in the last year, as I mentioned, some big life events happened, and the first was unfortunately that my dog passed away back in March. Last October, he was diagnosed with lymphoma and he ended up passing away in March. And so me sitting down and filming has been kind of difficult because normally he'd be right here next to me, and he was in quite a bit of the beginning of my last video. So it was really sad for me to think about, like, him not, laying next to me while I film and just being part of that process. So that obviously is kind of an emotional thing, and that took a toll. The other thing that happened, which is the main inspiration for today's video, is that I had a baby. I found out in December that I was pregnant, and I had my son back on August 23rd of this year. So he is 5 weeks old today, and so I have been spending the last month just kind of thinking about prepping, shifting gears from, just me and my husband and my dog, to me and my husband and my son. We love him so much, and that's part of the reason why I wanted to put this 72-hour Bugout bag together for him. A couple things to keep in mind with this video. My son does have a diaper bag, just a normal diaper bag that we take with him everywhere. So the bag that we're using for the Bugout bag is the same bag, like we bought two of the same bag. They serve two different purposes. They function independently, but they complement each other if they were to be together. Now that I am prepping in kind of a family mindset, focusing on prepping for a baby, your gears kind of shift a little bit. A lot of my mindset prior was in an emergent situation. Obviously, coordinating taking care of a baby is a lot to think about. It can be very overwhelming. So in an emergent situation with my son, our primary goal would be to bug in and stay at home. This is our safety net, and so part of shifting gears to more of like a family prepping is making sure that our home is ready for that if that were to happen. However, I'm not always with my child. I will be going back to work, so if something were to happen and I'm not with my baby, if he were being babysat, things like that, there's just a lot to think about where he might not be at home at that moment. And because me and my husband have bug out preps, it's important to have baby bug out preps as well, and to think about how would I get me and my son from point A to a bug out location. The point of a bug out bag is just that, to get you from your current location to your bug out location. It's meant to be temporary. The American Red Cross recommends having at least 72 hours worth of supplies on hand at any given time. And so that's kind of a good basis for putting any type of bug out kit together, is focusing on temporary, like 72-hour or more increment of time. I will go through the items that I have, and then I also have a list here, this list that I put together. It is pretty cumulative, but obviously everybody is different, every baby is different, you're gonna have different needs for you and your child. Even this list for me, I had to adapt just a little bit. So I'm gonna go through the list, I'm gonna show you some items, I'm gonna talk about some other things, and just get strapped in because it's probably going to be a long video. Disclaimer before I get into the content. I make this disclaimer in every single video. This is not a place for hateful comments. I am totally open to suggestions or criticism, but if you have anything hateful to say, your comments will be deleted, you'll be blocked. This is not the place for that. This is meant to be an environment where we can help each other and educate each other. So anything other than that will not be tolerated. And with that being said, let's get into the baby Bugout bag. So first I'm going to show you the bag that we are using. It's currently empty because I took all of the items out. So this bag is from Amazon. The brand is Kara Joy. There were a couple of reasons why I picked this bag. For starters, on the back here, I'm not going to open it because it's kind of a pain to put back together, but this pouch opens into like a co-sleeper bassinet type thing. So with this bag, baby also has a safe place to sleep. So that was one of the main selling points for me. A couple other things that I liked about this bag was the storage and accessibility. It is a double zipper. It opens up really, really wide. This is the little mat for the bed. We have a pocket here at the back, and then there is a pocket on each side here, 2 stretchy pockets in the front. There's a pocket right here, and then a side pocket with a zipper for wipes. This front pocket with an insulated little cubby in it, as well as a small zipper pocket on the front. And then this little bag that clips to the side, perfect for pacifiers. And then on the back, it also comes with these little straps that you can hook onto your stroller handle. So I loved all the storage. I love how it opens up wide. You can easily get to everything inside. I love the bassinet feature on this bag. So much storage, just so much room for everything. So that's why we decided to go with this bag in particular. There's also a USB charger. So this little black piece on the side here, you can charge it, and then that way on the go, if you need to plug in your phone or, you know, a sound machine or a fan or whatever, you can do that as well. So that is the actual bag. So first off, we're gonna talk about feeding, and there's a couple things to note with feeding. Obviously, you can have a formula-fed baby, a breastfed baby, or a combo-fed baby. In an emergent situation, it is good to prepare for all formats of feeding. My baby is breastfed. However, we are unable to actually breastfeed, so I pump and provide breast milk. So that adds in a lot of complications to prepping a bag, because I have to have pump parts, I have to have storage bottles, I have to have ways to clean everything. So have to keep all of that in mind. If you have a baby that is formula feeding, you have 2 formula options. You either have the ready to feed bottles or you have the powdered formula. It definitely doesn't hurt to have a little bit of both if you can find your baby's formula in a ready to feed format. I do have some ready to feed formula just in case my baby were separated from me for whatever reason, or I were to, you know, start having supply issues. This is the ready to feed formula. You can buy this type of formula in these little 2-ounce bottles. You can put a nipple directly onto this, or you can buy these. These are 8 ounces. The only thing is that a smaller baby, like my baby is 5 weeks old, he's not going to be drinking all of this in one sitting. So it is important to think about storage. How can I save this for later? Will I have a way to keep it cold, etc.? But I do think that it is beneficial to have both formats, ready to feed and powdered formula. If you are doing powdered formula, you also have to think about water. You need water to mix with your baby's powdered formula when prepping for, 72 hours worth of time. A couple of sites that I was looking at recommended to have 96 ounces of water and about 48 scoops worth of the powdered formula. That is a lot of weight, takes up a lot of room, but obviously keeping your baby calm and content and fed is very important for a multitude of reasons. So that is something to keep in mind when you are purchasing the actual bag that you're going to use for your baby's Bugout bag, is having enough room for feeding supplies and, you know, water bottles, all that kind of thing. For an older baby, you can also put in some powdered goat milk. And don't forget to include some snacks, baby food and snacks, such as the little jarred foods, those little puffs that you see all the time are a great option as well, just to keep your baby content and snacking. I also would recommend keeping things in pairs so that you can rotate things through. Over bottles, I have these are actually insulated stainless steel bottles. These are from Walmart. I got two so that one can be used if another one is dirty or being washed. These hold up to 9 ounces, so they're a pretty decent size, but because they're insulated, they can keep milk warm. I have a camp stove in my husband's Bugout bag, so that can be used to warm up milk if the milk is in a bottle already or in a storage bag or whatnot. But if you need to boil water for your baby's formula, I would recommend including some type of camp stove or way to heat the water and heat the bottle for feedings. I also would recommend adding in some burp cloths to your bag. These can be used as kind of like a changing pad as well as a burp cloth. These are really nice. These are Gerber brand, but they're really big, they're long. You can lay them over your shoulder, but they are big enough to where I could lay baby down on this and change his diaper. So again, I included two so that one can be used if another one is soiled or being washed. Now, as I mentioned, I am pumping breast milk and providing for my son because we are not able to actually latch him to breastfeed. So I did have to take that into account when putting together these supplies. So in this bag here, and I put them in a bag so that they can stay clean once they've been washed. But in this bag here, I have a manual hand pump and all the parts needed for that. And then I have some of these bigger storage containers. These hold 80 mils each. I also included some little nipples that can be used for these formula bottles. These are meant to be one-time use, okay? These storage bottles and these nipples are meant to be one-time use. However, in an emergent situation, washing them, air drying them, taking proper care of them, you can definitely use them more than once. But I included some of those nipples. I also included some 1 ml syringes and little caps. Those can be used for medicine, but they could also be used for feeding if he's having trouble. I put in a nipple balm and some nursing pads. I definitely would also recommend including some reusable nursing pads that you can wash, just because the disposable, obviously once you use them and they're gone, they're gone. So anything disposable, I would use it as a last resort, maybe when the reusable products are being cleaned, if you have no other option. So I would include some of those, and then I would also make sure to include some, like a little mini bottle of dish soap to clean your bottles, to clean your parts. There is a brand, I believe it's Dapple, they make pump part wipes that you can use to wipe off your pump parts. I also included one of these. This is a sterilization bag. I was gifted a bunch of these and they definitely come in handy. The only thing is you have to have a microwave for these, so depending on the situation, might not be possible. But what I was thinking was this plastic bag can be used to store the pieces once they're clean and dry. Once they've been used and they're wet and they have breast milk on them, I can put them in this bag, designated. You're supposed to actually rinse off and wash your pieces before putting them in this bag and sterilizing. But you might not have access to a microwave either. So it's just kind of thinking through different scenarios. How am I gonna clean these in this scenario? How am I gonna clean them in this scenario? So including dish soap and the wipes to clean off the parts would definitely be handy in various situations. Okay, now let's talk about diapering. So for diapering, you have two options. You have reusable products and you have disposable products. Again, I think it's very important to have the combination of the two so that the disposable products can be used as a last resort while the reusable products are being washed or if they're soiled. So that goes for diapers and wipes. You can buy little travel packs of wipes. So this is a lot smaller than a normal pack. This one has 20 wipes in it. So you can throw that into your bag. You can also buy reusable or washable baby wipes. You can create like your own moist concoction to put your wipes in, or you can use them dry. So again, having both options is very important. As far as the actual diapers go, so I have these two cloth diapers. Now these are a little bit smaller. Some cloth diapers, they're gonna fit a variety of sizes. These are on the smaller end, but they are relatively adjustable, and I like that these have a double seam on the inside like most disposable diapers do nowadays. And so that's gonna keep them from, blowing out the sides of their legs. Both of these are from Amazon, and this is the brand Rumparooz. And these are the newborn size, but like I said, they will fit a lot bigger than that. So depending on the size of your baby, you might need various sizes of the cloth diaper covers. So I have two, gender neutral, gray and white. And then in this bag here, I have two liners and two inserts. So one for each diaper, so that those can be used one at a time while the other's being cleaned. And then I also have a stack of disposable diapers. He's barely still in the newborns, so I included a couple newborns and then a couple size ones just in case. And I would strongly encourage putting them in a gallon freezer bag like I have, because you can push the air out, you can save room and keep them from getting wet. Okay, so now let's talk about clothes. Everyone is going to say different things about the clothing options, how much you should bring, what you should bring, all that stuff. So I just wanted to show a couple basics. I would recommend clothing in their current size plus up one size, and then maybe just an extra onesie in the next size. So you got two sizes of options, especially because like all the 0 to 3 month stuff is gonna fit differently depending on the brand. So just having some options is nice. Here in Texas, it does not start getting cold until around November, but we are entering the fall months, so it is important to keep weather in mind. This is why I rotate products out every 6 months, and especially with a baby, they're growing so fast, you need to have options. So I did include some socks in multiple sizes, and then I also included, so this little bib here, I thought that this was so clever because it's a turtleneck style bib, and so it covers a little bit more of their neck and their clothing. I believe I got these at Walmart. These are also water resistant, so I figured that that is a good option. But because it is kind of a turtleneck style, I'm like, that could be an extra layer if you needed to keep baby warm. I would include layers, think in layers. So onesies, both short sleeve and long sleeve, and pants, because the onesie is an outfit and the onesie plus the pants are an outfit. So Some options, these little pants have the feet on the end, so that's definitely gonna be a warmer option than these without the feet. I would include just solid colors. This long sleeve onesie, just blue, it's gonna go with anything. So you could include onesies in multiple different sizes, pants in different sizes. It's good to have 2 of everything, again, because if something's dirty, you have an option. And then I also included this little jacket that I thought was so cute. This is a newborn jacket, but it's big, and it's supposed to be, but it's definitely bigger than newborn. So this is gonna be great as we go into these winter seasons, and it gets a little bit chilly, we can just throw that on. A couple of different sites that I found recommended having 5 onesies, 5 of the footy jammies, like the zipper jammies, 2 to 3 pairs of pants, and then multiple pairs of socks because they can also double as mittens. Keep in mind also, it is much easier to put a baby into something that is a little bit too big than it is to put them in something that is a little bit too small. 2 other things that I want to mention. This is an emergency blanket. This is a foil blanket. There is a little hood so you can lay them up under, put the hood over, wrap them, and then there is a piece of tape that you can use to secure it around the baby. So this is definitely like a last resort emergent product, but it's super beneficial to have. I bought that on Amazon. And then I also included this. This is a smaller blanket. This is more like a receiving blanket, but just having a nice little thick blanket that baby can use to lay on. We can wrap him in it, just kind of like a comfort item for him. I don't think that this is quite big enough to like actually swaddle him in it, but just to have something to keep him warm and cozy as well. Throw that in your bag to keep everything dry. And then I also have, this is a dry bag. So this is meant to put wet stuff in. You can just dump this straight into a washing machine. This one is a double pocket. It's a pretty decent size. And then it also has this little strap here. Okay, so now we also need to consider comfort for baby. Depending on the age of the baby, these things are gonna change a little bit. So I included some extra pacifiers. These are the 2 that he likes the best. So we got some extra passies. I would also include a pacifier clip. One of those things that you tie to the passy and then you can clip it to their clothing, or a blanket. Then we were gifted this little stuffy lovey. This is a little dino, so it's kind of like a blanket toy combo, but I thought that this was so cute. And as baby gets older, having, you know, something, a little comforting toy will be handy. And I also threw in this little bunny toy. This came with the baby bag. The only thing is, this is also a rattle, and so in certain situations where baby needs to stay quiet, this might not be the best option, but I just thought it was cute and just a good little soft toy. He can also teeth on this ring, so, you know, good to have multiple options. If your baby is a little bit older, I would recommend including some teething gel or teething tablets. Now, the last things to talk about are kind of like baby toiletries or baby first aid items. You could fill up an entire bag of those items alone, if I'm being honest. There's so much that goes into like baby toiletries, first aid, like just thinking about all the little things that like for an adult wouldn't necessarily be essential. For baby, I would recommend including both Tylenol and Motrin in your bag. Buy the store brand, save yourself some money. It's the same ingredient. They are smaller bottles, so you are saving some room. But that way you have options for if baby were to have a fever, especially when they're teething, pain relief to keep baby comfortable, all that stuff. They come with, or they should come with medicine droppers, so I would definitely throw those in your bag as well. Some other medications, I would include some gas drops. So we actually put these in all of my son's bottles because he was just having some tummy trouble. And so this is some simethicone or Myocon. It's safe to put in every single bottle. So I would include that in your baby's meds and toiletries as well, so that you can give that to them if they are a little bit gassy or have an upset tummy. Another, well, I wouldn't really consider it a medication, but this is some gripe water. I know that there are kind of mixed things coming out about gripe water, about babies choking on them, so use with your own discretion, obviously, like that is your choice as a parent. But I did receive this little sample. This is, you know, 1 or 2 servings depending on baby's age, I think. And so I figured might as well, if baby is fussy or needs to sleep. The last thing we want if we are in an emergent situation is a baby that is just screaming his head off or won't go to sleep because of tummy trouble. And so I figured might as well just, you know, as a last resort, throw that in there. I also would include some diaper rash cream. This was also sample size. This is triple paste, a little sample bottle. Another sample is this little boogie wipe. These are meant for 6 naughty babies, so I included this. I think it's just 1 wipe. Yeah, just this little sample in case I need it. Some other toiletries. I also included this little travel bottle of fragrance-free baby oil, and then I included some Baby Dove eczema care lotion. You can and you should include some type of baby wash. If you can find a travel size of your preferred product, go for it, but if not, make sure to get some little travel size bottles to put your baby products in. I also included some baby sunscreen and some mosquito repellent. I wanted to also throw in one of these little bulb syringes. This can be used to remove little boogies from the nose, but also if baby's choking, spitting up, this is important to have. I also wanted to include these little baby nail clippers. We actually have an electric nail file that we use here at home normally. That's great, but do what you gotta do in an emergent situation. And then I just included a little baby brush. This one's really soft, and baby comb. And then I threw in some hand sanitizer. Obviously this is for me or my husband after changing diapers, after pumping, like that kind of thing. I want to wash my hands off, so just included that with all that stuff. If your baby is a little bit older, you might consider throwing in a toothbrush if they're teething, or some other first aid items like some band-aids. I would definitely add in a thermometer to your kit, just some different various first aid products. Honestly, I think that about wraps up everything that I've covered. I think honestly the hardest part about putting this kit together was just thinking about feeding supplies, because I do have an oversupply. And so honestly it might come down to, depending on the situation, like me having to pump and dump if I don't have a way to store it, which honestly it makes me like want to cry thinking about having to do that. But you know what, you do what you gotta do. Breast milk also has some other purposes, some good benefits. You can put it on your skin, you can drink it if you're getting sick. So again, do what you gotta do. But I think that was probably the most challenging part of putting this kit together. Just thinking about, you know, how would I temporarily support my baby in certain situations is overwhelming in general. But that is why I make videos like this, to help you guys out, and you guys can help me as well. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel. I'm not gonna lie, I am just kind of going with the flow with content right now. If you have video suggestions, please comment them down below, especially now that I do have my son. I want to incorporate prepping more, focusing on him, focusing on, you know, being more family oriented with my preps. So that is the plan. I will see you guys next time, whenever that may be. Bye.